Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. How's Oliver and everybody at home? All good?
Yeah, we haven't seen Oliver since Mother's Day, so
Oh, I know it's safe, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
But how are you and your husband doing? All good?
We're good, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, we are all good. At home, it's a blessing to be together
Yeah,
because Sanju was here. The weekend I told you that he's going to be here,
yeah,
and then they asked him to work from home.
yeah.
So since then he's been here, so which is good.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Vidhi, of course, no school and everything. And right now it's her Easter break.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll just have to see how they work out.
The exam results, isn't it?
Yeah, because they have cancelled it anyways.
Yeah.
So now we'll just have to see how they work it out. She was disappointed, but then all of us are in it together. So what can you do?
Well, I'm sure, if they'd given her a place on the basis of what her predicted were, then
yeah, I hope so. Let's see how it goes. And how are you doing otherwise? Busy with walks and everything?
With what?
With taking Jelly for walks?
Yeah, well, I take her for one walk and Dennis takes her for one walk.
Okay.
So we have.
Yeah. You're allowed. I mean, for dogs, you can't help it. You have to take them out twice anyways.
Yeah, well, we've just been splitting it up, so
okay.
It's hard. Our dogs are all had to be on the leads for the past week in the park, which has been hard.
Because they're not used to it, is it?
Yeah, she's not used to being on the lead.
Oh, no, Bruno is okay on the lead.
Yeah.
It's just that, in a way, it's a blessing that we all have dogs, because otherwise going out is such a big task now. Even just for a normal walk, it's such a, big ask. But I'm glad she could work out this session.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping, she hasn't joined us yet, I think.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So who else is joining? Is anybody else joining?
No idea. Don't know. Maybe the others.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just having my cup of tea.
Well, Jelly's just been out for a walk with my husband, so she's laying on the floor tired. She doesn't know.
Bruno has just woken up from his sleep, because normally my husband takes him around this time.
Yeah.
So I called him down because he was sleeping on top with him. He's upstairs, and I was just lying down watching telly over here and just having a little, nap here. And he's come down and he's so sleepy. He's like half asleep.
This is Jelly. You see her. She's, I don't know if I can.
Oh, yeah, this is Bruno. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I know, I can.
That's easier.
Where is it?
Oh my god. There.
Ah, okay. See, that's Bruno. Hey. Oh. Okay. So I think once the class starts, then I've collected the shoes and the tea bags. And what else did she ask? Just the tea and
a sock.
Ah, a sock.
Vidhi? Sock.
Yeah. If you go on top, on the table near the toilet.
Table.
No.
Yeah.
I kept one over there.
Right.
Just get that. She's getting it. I kept it ready, but I forgot to get it down.
Yeah.
But have you been practicing with Jelly or?
Not a lot, no.
Yeah.
One of those strange 2 weeks where.
Yeah, I know. Same here. It's just been, trying to sort out your own routine and kind of getting things a bit kind of, organized.
Yeah, I think you have to be. I find if I'm not enthusiastic about it, she's not. and
Yeah, I
doesn't want
think
to do
it's the
it.
same. Yeah, I think it's the same. Cushy, come.
Where should I put the stuff?
Yeah, just keep it here. So,
Doesn't like
okay.
this.
So where is Cat? I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Well, somebody joined. There's 3 of us.
Really? I can't see the third person.
Oh no, I don't know. It says, oh no, it's gone back to 2.
Oh, okay. Where does it say?
On the bottom, I've got the computer thing at the
Participants.
bottom.
Ah, it's just 2. It says only 2.
2, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we just have to wait for a couple of more minutes. Bruno, wait. I'm just trying to. You may not see me for a minute. I'm trying to sort out his treats.
All right, no problem.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. There's a very cute doggy.
Hey, down. Good boy. What's sniff? Look, what is that? Look at it.
There's on there.
It's a new one. I just opened one.
You don't like those?
Now, if I open that cupboard, it means that I'm going to get something more tempting rather than just a little tiny treat or something like that. You know, something like a little chewy
Sorry.
bone or something like that.
Very disappointed.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. But fortunately, this is the last class.
Yeah. I think there's 2 other people on it now.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it?
Oh my god.
Where did it go?
Does not use your phone.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you can go.
Now
Is
I
this
can
mine?
see. Yeah. Oh yeah, there are 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 4, but I can't see anybody. Oh, there, somebody's joining. Did you hear a ping or something?
Oh, that's my phone.
All right, okay.
Just switch it.
Yeah. So otherwise, how's Oliver doing? How is your daughter doing?
He's good. Yeah, he's not sleeping very well, but he's
Has he begun to teeth? His teeth are, his tooth is all out, or?
no. It was a false alarm last time.
Oh, bless. Oh, okay. But is he all right otherwise?
He seems to be. Yeah, he's just had his 4-month injections. So.
Oh, bless. So are they still seeing him at the surgery or no?
Yeah, they did on Friday. Looks like Cat's up there now.
Hey!
All right.
Hello.
Hi. Why can't I see her?
Hey guys! Thank you so much for bearing with me.
Hi.
Connection
Hi.
issues. How are you all doing?
Yeah, we're
Good.
good. As best as we can be.
Really? Is everyone healthy and well?
Yeah, we are all good. Yeah, thanks.
Good. Perfect. How are you, Carol?
I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome. And hey, Gary. Good. Glad you can make it. Hey, as you can see, guys, we've got a stowaway. He's below on my screen. Gary's been doing one-to-one scent work with us, and hopefully can follow along and at least get some hints and tips from what we've been doing so far. So he's got Europe. Have you guys met while you were waiting for me?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
There's Europe.
Hi, that's so cute. Bruno, come on. Come here.
No. How's Bruno?
Yeah, he's good. He's
Excellent.
he's so happy. I think the dogs are the happiest because everybody's at home.
I know. I can see how many separation anxiety cases I'm going to have when all of this is over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. On that note, guys, seriously, in all honesty, it is going to become a problem for a lot of people when the world returns to normal.
Oh,
Yeah, what I'm trying to advise clients as much as possible is now is the time for settle training. And now is the time for getting your dog to do independent things on their own. So you're frozen Kong for every meal, but while you're in another room. Things like putting your dog, if you've got a car, if you've got access to one, leaving your dog in a car, that's going to help you for, you know, just chilling them out for, not when it's hot, obviously, like today, but just chilling them out for a little while. That's going to really help them. But really do try and break it up a little bit for them. I know my two are being really strange because we're here. And also, Spud's partially bored because he's not going out to classes anymore, but he's also sick of the online training. It's hilarious. He's really, like, seriously. How are you, Carol? How's Jelly?
She's good. Yeah, she's just been, we're separating our walks. So I do one and my husband does one.
Yeah.
And she's just come back from her second walk and she's tired.
Excellent. Good work. So how it's been working on Zoom so far is connection wise. Part of it is down to my connection and part of it is down to your connection. As time's gone by, my connection seems to have got better and better, to be honest. I've not had too many issues. If it cuts off, the same as it did before, I've left it as open host, so you guys can be here without me, which is a nice thing to be able to do to start with. So if you get kicked out, you should be able to just come straight back in the way you got here to start with. How I've got my view set up, for those of you that aren't familiar with Zoom, I've got you set up so that I'm in spotlight mode. Now, what that means is that you see me. There you go. Has that changed it for any of you?
no.
Okay. So what happens is for the purposes of video, for people that haven't, like, for example, Avril, who hasn't made it today, they can still view the video back and I get my main bit. And then what I do is I can see all of you guys along in gallery view. And when I ask you to go off and do your things, some of you might need to angle your cameras down a little bit if possible, so I can see what your dogs are doing. If you're not comfortable with it, don't worry at all. Just put yourself on, like, turn your video off or turn your sound off or do whatever you need to do. And it goes from there. Hey, Zoe, how are you? Are you frozen? I think Zoe might be frozen. I think that sometimes she has connection issues, so she can watch it back if nothing else. The other thing to mention is I'm on an earpiece because I'm outside. If it's windy, sometimes you can't hear me. If you can't hear me, do this. And I'll do my best. I would do my best to, like, notice and pay attention to you. So if anybody misses anything, just big hand waves, like, across the screen, and I'll notice, because it's like quite visually distracting for me, and I'll make sure I've gone over the last bit. Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. So today I'm just opening up the syllabus that we've got. Has everyone been practicing lots?
On and off.
Awesome. To be fair, scent work was designed for quarantine. The only thing I can't do is hide for you, but I do have some games to try and combat that, and some games to try and change it up a little bit for you. What we're going to do, just to go over the class syllabus, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a warm-up. And you know, we normally do a warm-up on pots. Not everybody has pots, so we've started doing in some of our other classes shoe matrices, which have worked really well. It's harder for the dogs because obviously shoes contain so much scent and, you know, all the different weirdness that we walk around in, not to mention our own stinky feet smell. So that's definitely something to consider in terms of whether or not our dogs perform very well in this. The next thing I want to go over is I want to see if we can do some tacit indications on each other. So what I'd like you to do is be hiding things, getting other people to see if they think your dog has found or not. So can somebody else work your dog for you remotely? That's been quite good fun in other classes we've done this week as well. The next thing I want you to do, I asked you to get some weird and wonderful stuff for us. We're going to try and introduce tea bag as a novel scent. Has everyone managed to get some tea bags?
Yeah.
Good. Generally we have tea bags in my house. We're massive tea drinkers, so it's not too difficult to get hold of, and it's something that other teams, other scent work schools start off with, and they use them quite successfully. We don't use tea because it's around our house so much, but I'm going to try today. Spud's never worked on tea, so I'll do this along with you, and you'll see what I mean about it being a novel scent. The last thing I wanted to do is to maybe do some drop games if we have time. It's something we've covered in class a little bit, but not something we've successfully done. But it's something that you guys can definitely progress with if you can see the point of why we're doing it. Okay, so give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and retrieve my dog who decided he wants to go in and has had enough. And we're going to start our warm up. In fact, I can start you guys off. Do you have shoes?
Yeah.
Awesome. What I want you to do, I'll show you very briefly if I can grab the dog. Can you see my, hang on, where do I have to go? Can you see my shoes here?
Yeah.
Yep, lovely. I want you to take your piece of Kong. Spud, take your piece of Kong. Do you remember in our last scent lesson, what we did was we started to introduce telling your dog what we're searching for by literally letting them sniff it before we ask them to search. So to get your dog into the ready position, I'm not using a lead today. So if the neighbour turns up or anyone walks into the garden or any of my neighbours go into either of my gardens, he's going to bark. So I'm really sorry if that completely puts everyone off and sets their dogs off barking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get him in the ready position. He's ready to go. What's this? What's this? What's this? Yeah. And I'm going to lob a treat to the side. If you have 2 pieces of Kong, it's handier because you don't have to lob a treat every time. So I've sent him away. I'm putting the Kong in one of the shoes. Find it, find it. And he's going to search. Keep looking. Find it, find it. Oh, he's turned it over. Find it, find it. Where's it? Spider. Find it, find it. Keep looking. Yes. Boy. So there we go. Yes. Good boy. There we go. Yes. Good boy. I'm still feeding at source, remember? Yes. Good boy. And then as my jackpot, find it, find it. One more. Yes, good boy. I'm going to throw my treats away. And then I'm going to pick up my Kong so that I've got control of what's going on.
Hey, this way.
If anybody's working outside, be aware the fact that the grass itself is really enticing for dogs, and Spud finds it really difficult to search in the area that he plays. And this is definitely his play area. So be aware of that. If it's context for your dog, they might struggle.
Let's find, let's search, let's search, let's search.
Good boy.
Yeah,
sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, that's
The
okay.
laptop fell over, which is really handy. Okay, cool. So off you go, guys. Start doing that with the rule of 5s. 5 and then jackpot for me a few times, and I'll have a look at what you're doing.
Abhidi, can you tilt it?
Huh? Can we fit? What, like sideways? Like make it horizontal.
Bruna, sit. Come here. Come here. Bruna. What happened? Show him. Hey, Bruna. Come here. Come here.
What is that?
Awesome. Good work, Carol. Jelly's got the hang of that. That's excellent.
Yes.
Fandy, when you've got your iPad turned that way, you've gone that way as well. So I can see if I do this.
Okay. So how do you want me to do it? Like this?
Yeah, that's better.
Vidhi, sure, no. Vidhi, put it down.
Down.
Oh, yeah, I think it's down.
Good girl. Good girl.
Come here.
Yeah.
Good work, Gary.
Good girl. Thank you.
Gary, try and steer clear of good girl and just use a yes marker or a clicker, one or the other. You have a tendency to say it 2 or 3 times. And I want her to know exactly what she did right. That's how you'll get your duration.
Boy.
Good. You're right. Good girl.
Awesome.
My bad. Habit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Train like I'm always watching though, eh?
Go. That's super. Yeah. Sit.
Bruna, come here.
Good. Find it. Find it.
Bruna, sit. Bruna, sit. Search.
Good work, Jelly.
Yes.
cows. Jelly doesn't pick them up as much. It's fantastic.
She doesn't pick.
Yes.
She's not picking the shoes up as much or pouring at them that I can see.
No. They're my shoes. Why would she want to re-pick them up?
True, true. Very true.
Oh, yes, good boy. Yes. Good boy. Search. Go on, search. Yes.
Lovely. And finish off on the one you're on there for your warm up. Finish up, take your Kong up.
Ah, good job.
Where's now?
Vinny.
Good boy.
Lovely. Lovely. Well done, guys. In terms of what we're doing, we introduced letting the dogs sniff the scent that we want them to find quite late in the game. What I would start doing if I were you guys is I'd probably start offering the scent that you want them to find every 5. So you've jackpotted, reset them before they go off. I couldn't tell if you guys were doing it or not, but ask your dog to smell it every time before you go off and scent it. Because what we're going to do now is introduce a second scent. Gary, this is very early on for Europe, so you can carry on with Kong if you want. If not, start diversifying now. Lots of schools of thought do start training with other scents this early, but you need a decent indication first. So you need to know kind of like whether or not you think that's right. Cool. Okay, so what I want you to do is give me 2 secs, guys. Grab your tea bags.
Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Down. Get down. क्या चाहिए? Green tea powder. It's there. Keep it there. That side. Just keep it.
It used to be here. Wait.
Cool. So have you guys all got your tea bags?
Yeah, you said 3, right?
Yes, 3 is fine.
Okay.
The only reason I said 3 is because quite often they break. If they break, it's a bit of a problem. What I probably should have said to you guys as well is to try and keep your scent uncontaminated. So everyone that's handling them now, you're contaminating your hands with the scent, but it is in a bag and it's not the end of the world because the particles of tea in the grand scheme of things are quite large. So it's not, we are going to have some cross contamination, but I probably should have said to you about not handling them before you start using them and things. It doesn't matter too much because they're really concentrated. It's the joy of why it's something nice and easy to start with. So we're going to go, I don't know, God, a year, 18 months back for some of you guys that we've been doing this. And we're going to reintroduce a new scent. So I want you to take one of your tea bags. In the spirit of social distancing, you can use gloves and all kinds of things if you want to. I don't really mind. I don't, because they're bagged up quite nicely. And you don't get too many particles coming out. But when they come out of the box, you tend to find they've got dust and things on them. Yeah. I've got Yorkshire tea. Genuinely, I know people whose dogs can find different brands of tea. So be aware of how acute your dog's nose is. You could potentially be able to get them to find the one Yorkshire tea in all the Tetley. So remember what you're starting with, remember your brand. We're going to go right back to the beginning. And what I want you to do is to do an exercise. Hang on, I'm just going to move my camera so that you hopefully can see the right height without you falling over. Lovely. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to go right back to the beginning. We're going to offer the scent to the dog. We're going to mark yes as their nose goes towards it. Don't forget to try and capture sniffing. So if you have to do it early as their nose approaches, because you can see some nose twitching, that's fine. We don't worry about our duration at this point yet. So just want you to offer it out 5 times. Yes, good boy. If you think your dog's nose bumping, hold it back in your fist behind you rather than out like a tea bag, because we really want them to be scenting. So just 5 out in front of you. Yes. So I could see him sniffing then, so that was a nice indication. Yes. Lovely.
Bruna.
3. I don't want a nose bump, I want sniffing. So that's what I'm really closely watching for.
Bruna.
It can help if you mash it around in your hands a little bit as well to release some scent. Yes. Last one. Yes, good boy. And as a jackpot, I'm throwing the food away for my dog on the 5th one. Off you go, guys. Just do a couple of rounds of 5.
No.
Yes.
Find it, find it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Here.
Bruno.
this way.
Here. Spud.
Mm.
Yes. Good boy.
What should you do?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Vinny.
Yes.
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 Good boy.
Good girl.
Okay, guys, can all of you tell when your dog is actually sniffing?
No, right now Bruno is just putting his nose forward.
Okay, cool. I've noticed Spud's doing it as well, and it's because part of the indication I got from him, when I got such a fantastic indication, is I kind of trained him to hold his breath. So the next exercise we're going to move on to, don't move on too soon, but use this if you don't think your dog is sniffing, is start to move it around the air. Now I'm outside, so I've got scent going in all directions. I don't even know where the wind is at the moment. But if you're indoors, this is a lot easier for your dog. And what I want you to do is play the rustle game. We're still going to work in 5s and on the 5th one jackpot. But what I want you to do is to try scent over here. Yes. And then scent over here. Yes. And then scent down here. Yes. And then scent behind you. Yes. Once you've done that a few times, I'm going to level you up to start hiding it. So your dog's going to have to find it with their nose. So off you go with the rustle game.
Trying to eat it.
Oh no, don't let her pierce it. They get wet and soggy, which is why I've asked you to have 3 if they put their mouths on it. So be careful it doesn't burst.
Yes. You're nice to have with you.
To be fair, Carol, I know for a fact Jelly uses her nose, so I wouldn't worry too much about doing the rustle game too much with her to make her think she needs to eat it.
Okay.
So I know she uses her nose. Find it. Where is it? Up here.
Good girl.
Find it, find it, find it.
Vinny.
Yes.
Yes.
One more.
Good girl.
Not there.
Did you say Europe's just run off with it?
No. She got her ball as a jackpot and was just chasing it, and thankfully she's gone outside to go to the toilet now.
Oh, fair enough. Handy break. Vandy, your camera's quite high up. I can't see Bruno at the moment. No,
Here you go.
don't dig.
But how do I? Busy.
I used a mug to kind of angle mine, if I'm honest, and stood it up on that, if that helps.
The gross stuff. I'm not going to do.
Yes.
Do not eat mud.
Busy.
Bud.
Turn
Don't
it
eat mud.
down. I need some help here, just to for her to see. She's not able to see.
Yeah, that's it. Good work. That's better. I can see a tail. Good. Now I can see him.
Yeah.
Lovely. One more set of 5 for me, and then stop there when you're finished.
Yeah.
Yes. Find
Bruno
it.
here.
Find it.
Bruno.
How do you find it? Where is it?
Bruno.
How do you find it? Find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good girl. Good girl.
Yes.
Wow.
Find it.
Oh,
Yes.
good boy.
Find it. Find it. Where is it? Where is it? Find it. Find it. Find it. Find it. Find it. Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Finished your 5?
Good
Fab.
girl.
Lovely. And the next stage of this is going to be hiding it. Now, I've discovered in this day and age, I'm in flip-flops today and I have turn-ups in my trousers. So I've devised a new game this afternoon with Spud about finding things in my flip-flops. So at the moment, they're finding things in our hands. Then we were inciting them to actually start looking at it by rustling. But what I want you to do now is to take your hands away. So I'm tucking the tea bag in. Whoa, wait for it. I'm tucking the tea bag in my foot, in my flip-flop. So there's a little bit of it hanging out. I'm not making it too difficult, but it's here. And I'm going to send Spud to go and find it. Find it. Find it. Find it. Find it. Where's it? So he's looking. Yes. And I can see that he's really searching. Where's it? Find it. Find it.
Find it.
Come on, keep looking. Keep looking. Yes, good boy. If I need to help by indicating with my hand, yes, that's fine. But I really want him to start realizing what it is that I'm looking for. Off you go. Find it. Find it. Yes. You can stick it in your sock. You could stick it just at the bottom of your trousers, or you could just put it under the bottom of your shoe. It doesn't matter, but start varying it. And I want 5 on each new hide. Sit.
Okay.
Find it. Find it. Nope, that's just indicating my toe. Cool. Where is it? Buddy, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Touch.
Where is it? Yes.
Touch.
Don't forget to really be feeding it sauce here, guys, because that's how your dog's going to pair up tea bag with good stuff. Find it. Find it. Yes, good dog.
Yeah, Huna.
Find it. Find it.
Yes.
Where is it? Where is it? Keep looking.
Yes.
Keep looking.
Oi.
Keep looking. Keep looking.
Yes.
Keep looking.
Mm.
Yes, good boy.
Yes.
Keep looking.
Yes.
Good boy. Okay, last one in a different position.
Good boy.
Have a look at what you guys are all doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Alana.
Yes.
We're on tea bags. Thank you.
Yes.
Lie down.
Find it. Search even.
Bruno, sit. Bruno, sit. Bruno, sit. 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 Sit.
Search.
Come on, search. No, here. Here, this way.
If you have to help them out with your hand, it's not a problem, but don't do it too soon. Try and give them an opportunity to be using your eyes. Slightly, come here. Stay.
Wait.
I'll put them indoors. I will. Don't think I won't. Okay, when you finish this set, come and check in.
Bruno, search. Here. Search.
Ollie.
Search.
Round. Yeah. Good boy, stay.
Search.
Uh-oh. Go.
Yes. Good boy. Search. Come on. Search. Search. Bruno, search. Hey, this way. Here. Search.
Yeah, I can do it in a sec if you want.
No, I can do it. Bruno, here.
All right.
Search.
Still in. Lie down.
Search.
Search. I'll just tell them.
Yes.
I'm just going to close the door, we're just doing in the middle of some training. So we can play later, all right? Sorry. Pick up.
Search.
The neighbours have looked over the fence and they wanted to play with the doggy.
Okay. Finish off the set of 5 that you're on at the moment and come and check in. Has anybody got, in the nicest possible way, a soggy tea bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to change tea bags now. This, when you get a fresh tea bag, I want you to play the same game that you played before, but you know about the butyric acid that comes from your hands that dogs are interested in. so the scent of us putting something somewhere contaminates it.
Good
And we
boy.
might be worried that that's what they're looking for. So we're going to use a fresh tea bag now. We are going to have stuff on our hands, but it's a new tea bag rather than the one that we've handled and rustled around. So I want you to have another go now with tea bag number 2. Off you go. Sit. Find it, find it.
Find it.
Where is it? Spuddy, where is it? Find it. Good boy, sniff in. Where is it?
Yes.
Sniff in.
Touch.
Yes. Good boy. Where is it?
Find it.
Touch.
Where is it? Find it, find it.
Yes.
Where is it?
Touch.
Yeah. Keep looking.
Yes.
Keep looking. Keep looking.
Did you find it?
Keep looking.
Touch.
Yes.
Keep looking.
Touch.
Yes.
Okay.
Find it, find it.
Did you find it?
Touch.
Yes. Don't pick it up.
Touch.
Buddy, find it, find it.
Yes.
Find it, find it.
Yes.
Find it.
Good boy. Good boy.
Find it,
Good
find it.
boy. Good boy.
Find it, find it. Yes.
Bruno.
Boy.
Sit.
Hello.
Touch.
Good girl.
Here, this way. On mama. Come here. Touch.
Okay.
Come on, touch.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Touch.
Yes.
Lovely. And finish off on the one you're on at the moment.
Did you find it?
Touch. Touch. There's your nose.
Did you find it? Yes.
And give me a thumbs up when you've finished.
Did you find it?
Touch.
Good girl.
Touch. Bruno. Touch. Yeah. Touch.
We're done.
Good one.
Good boy. That's a good boy.
Very nice.
I really struggle with that one, Kat. So
Okay. Look,
boy.
it's absolutely fine. We're moving on. We're doing what you've done for 2 weeks with an entirely new item.
yeah.
So it's no drama. Genuinely for everybody. Carol and Vandy, how did you find that?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's
Were you-
able to spot it.
What? How good were his indications compared to how they are on Kong?
It's better in Kong.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
But at least he's indicating here.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's definitely better in Kong.
Yeah. So he's
I
starting
find
to
it
do
better
stuff with.
with a bigger object. So she's
Oh,
basically
okay.
trying to flick it out.
Yeah. Okay. What we end up doing is you end up sealing and making smaller and smaller tea bags and then just using tiny grains of it. And that's when you have to start worrying about contamination. So that's a good thing, but generalizing onto different scents is a good thing. Technically, Bruno and Jelly are on 3 scents because we started you guys on gun oil. I was tempted to use gun oil today, but truthfully, the contamination of it is a bit of a nightmare. And it's all really old for you guys. I know we haven't recharged it, so it might not be worth doing, which is why I went for tea bags today. Just so that you know. In terms of what we've just done, in 20 minutes, we've done what took you months to do with Kong. So I'm incredibly proud that your dogs can find it. But because we spent so long laying the foundations of teaching what an indication is and asking our dogs to scent as opposed to search with their eyes, that's why they're able to generalize. I wouldn't suggest you put more than 1 scent on a month, like the way we're teaching it this way, but you could conceivably teach your dog to find anything you wanted. What I'm interested in is showing the dog what you want to find as opposed to naming it. Some methods of scent detection, you'd say find Kong, find tea bag, and you have to name that. Considering how difficult it is for dogs to genuinely get, because so much of what they learn from us is physical context. So the fact that we're getting them to sit, getting them to search, and I've drilled it into you that you've got to get your dog ready to search before you search. If you suddenly start offering them something different, it can just blow their brains and they'll think, well, there's no Kong, you're showing me a tea bag and I don't care. So be careful about introducing too many scents at once, but by all means start doing it. I know full well that Jelly and Bruno should be able to crack this week. And the same goes for Europe in time. Just carry on Kong, it's absolutely fine. We're all working on different size Kongs anyway, as it is. So there's lots of progressions even with one scent. So don't worry too much about introducing new scents. Cool. Right, next thing I want to do, Gary, if you want to use Kong, that's absolutely fine. But Carol and Vandy, if you would like to use your tea bags, I'd like you to start doing the warm-up that we did with our shoes. Yeah, thank you. Our warm-up that we did, but with our tea bags. Use whichever one. So we've got 2 used tea bags now, 2 soggy tea bags. Yeah. Whichever one you want, I don't mind. And it might be an idea to swap them over every now and again, just like we do with our pieces of Kong. But what we're going to do is we're going to set our dogs up. We're going to lob something away from us so that we can hide it. Pop it in one of the shoes.
So do we make them? Do we make them smell? Do we make them smell the tea bag first?
Yes, that's why we have 2. Yep, that's why we've got 2. So we're going to set our dogs up. So I'm quite keen on Spud not running straight onto that search area because he doesn't know what I've asked him to search for yet. And I'm going to show him it. And I say, find it, find it. Yes, good boy. That was quality. I wasn't expecting that. Find it, find it. Keep looking. You found it the first time. Go on. Go on, find it, find it. Keep looking. Keep looking. He went straight there the first time and now he can't find it. Go on, keep looking. Yes, good boy. And again. One more. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Yes, good boy. One more. Keep looking. Good boy. And jackpot for the last one. Take your tea bag up and off you go. So you've got 2 items with you, don't forget.
Right.
Good boy. All right, Spud.
You're right. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Touch.
Sit. Touch.
Touch.
Yeah.
Yes. Boy.
Touch. I'm not. It's. I can't deal. I just can't train around that.
Yes, sir. Yes. Good boy.
This way.
Touch. Touch.
Yeah, there's 2 pigeons there.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
Boy. One more time. Touch.
Find it.
Touch.
That's it.
Yes. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah. Good boy. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Fantastic jackpot, Vandy.
Good boy. Yeah. One more time. We'll do one more time.
Can you point it down so I can see Bruno? Or is it too difficult?
Oh, where did it?
It moved. I can only see you.
Yeah, that's what I can only see myself now. Where have you disappeared?
No, I can only see your face.
Now, Bruno, yeah.
It just needs to be pointed downwards a little bit, I think.
Bruno.
Kat, I'm going to have to sit this one out. There's 2 pigeons parading right in front of our back door, and the parade drive is too strong.
Go poodle. Bruno! Oh, Vandy.
Yeah. Now, can you see? I can't see you now.
I think you might have turned your camera around. Sorry, mate. How are you? Cool. You all right?
No. Bruno.
Here. Good boy.
Wait.
Sit. Go Europe.
Good girl. Find it. Find it.
Come on.
Yes.
Good work, Jelly. That's fab.
Good girl.
Enough. We know he's there.
Yes.
Hey.
Good girl. Go on. Good girl. That's it.
Yes.
Yes.
Down. Yes.
Search.
Awesome. Good work, guys. Finish off on the one you're on and listen in. Retrieve your dog from the garden. I'll stop my dog from. I'll start trying to get my dog to not bark at my neighbours.
Search.
Slightly. Yeah. Yes.
Good boy. Yeah. Down. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, those of you that found that okay, proceed with this game. Those of you that didn't, go back to Kong and do your basics.
Can't see you now, Simon.
Oh, can you not?
Yeah, we can't see you. I can
okay,
see Carol now.
I will turn me off and back on again. Hang on. Usually fixes it. Can you see my logo?
No.
No, I can't see anything. I can only see Carol. Carol, can you see me?
No, I can only see myself.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. That's sorry. I've spotlighted you. Sorry. That was my bad. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm back. That was my bad. Sorry. What I do is I scroll through you guys individually to have a good look at you on the big screen, and then I forgot to change it back. So sorry about that. Just shout if you can't. Lovely. So those of you that found that okay, I want you to move on to the next game. Those of you that didn't, that's fine. Anybody that noticed I dropped out at the beginning of that exercise, it's because Spud knocked over my beer into my tea bag boxes. So I can see this not happening very well because he's now got to find beer-soaked tea bags and we haven't warmed up on them. So I'm really not that I would ever drink beer while I'm teaching you guys. Actually, no, I'm fine. I've got 2 dry ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but I want you to have your 2 pieces of Kong in your pocket and 2 tea bags in your other pocket. Try not to mash up the tea bags and end up washing them. Whatever you do, don't wash the tea bags. It will stain all your clothes. But what I want you to do is to see if you can mix it up a little bit now. Offer your dog a tea bag to go and do the search. So obviously set them up with the tea bag. So throw the food away and put a tea bag down. Show them the tea bag and ask them to go and search it. Get 5 of them. Jackpot and send your dog away again. And then set up with a Kong. Show them Kong to sniff and see if they'll then find the Kong as well. There is an element of contamination with your hands when you do this. So what I need you guys to do in order for this to work is to get other people to set it for you later on. Don't worry about now, because if you're still tainting it with your hands that smell of food and you, that's fine at this point. But we will need at some point to get other people to hide for you. Does everybody understand the concept of that game? Do you want me to do a demo?
Yeah. No, that's fine. I understand. Yeah.
Perfect. Carol?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Fab. Off you go, guys. Let's join in. Sit. Don't eat it. Come on. Find it. Keep looking. No, that's where it was. Keep looking. Go on, keep looking. Find it. Keep looking. Find it. Spotlight. Find it. Where is it? Find it. Yes, good boy. Find it. Yes, good boy. Shit.
Go on, keep searching.
Okay, find it. Yes.
We're not here.
Yes.
Keep searching.
Good boy.
Keep searching.
Wait. Yes.
Find it.
Search.
Come here, Bruno.
Good
Search.
Find it.
Bruno.
Here.
Yes.
Find it. Go on, search. Yes, good boy.
Touch.
Find it. No. Find it. Spotty, find it, find it. Spotty, find it. Keep looking.
Such a naughty
Keep
boy.
looking. Yes, good boy. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Keep looking. Spotty, keep looking.
Touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside, sir.
Yes.
Good job. That's the smell.
Keep looking.
Touch.
Yes. Good dog. What a good dog. Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Fucking pigeons.
Good boy. Yeah. How's everyone
I think I'm going to call it a day because her concentration's so fixed on those birds.
No worries at all.
So
Feel free to carry on watching and learn some new games.
Definitely.
Or, yeah,
Thanks
it's up
for
to
this
you,
as
or
well.
watch
I appreciate
later.
it. It was really
That's
good.
all right. No
Take
worries.
care. Thank you all.
Bye.
Have fun, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's a shame.
Yeah. Can you get me some more treats, please?
Jelly must be doing well if you need more treats already.
For now.
Bruno. Yeah. Sit. What's wrong? Okay. Bruno. What's wrong?
Bless you. No.
Good girl.
No.
There you go.
Awesome. Finish off on the one you're doing, guys, and listen in. And now for something completely different.
Yes.
Why? It's that class. He never barks at home. You won't believe me, but he honestly doesn't bark unless I'm training.
Come on, good boy. Yeah.
You're an embarrassment.
Good boy.
To me, to your father. Cool. Okay, guys. What I need to do, I'm going to let you take 5 minutes, and what I want you to do is to set up the camera so that we can all really see very clearly what you're doing. Vandy, you might have to prop it up somehow so that it's
Yeah, I know. I'm
further
trying. I
forward.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Carol, your one was fine. But what I want to be able to do is for everybody else to really see what you're doing. And what I want, we can go back to Kong, or you can use teabag, whichever you prefer, or a mixture of both if you've nailed it already. What I want to do is I want to play a game where we're going to identify each other's indications. Okay?
Yeah.
So see, I'm going to give you literally 2 minutes. Set up your camera, and we'll come back in a second. Cool.
Yeah.
Off you go. Oh, by the way, Vandy, when you turn it on its side, you go sideways. I don't know if you need to do auto rotate or something.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah. If you take it off like the fixed thing, it might work. Mine does, but anyway, come back in 2 seconds. Have a pee break or anything you need to. Horrible barker. Horrible barker. What are you doing?
सुनो इसको कैसे करूँ नीचे
Baby, have you gone? Okay.
Bruno, get down, Babu. Get down.
Good boy.
Bruno, wait, hut. Pani here? You drink water? Go drink water. Go and drink water. I'll give you one. ये कैसा दिख नहीं रहा उसको नीचे हाँ रखो दिखेगा Come
Yeah, come here. Don't. Come here. Ready? You like on. Hey. Wait, Puna. Okay, चलो ठीक है देख लेंगे. Bruno, come here. Bruno, come here.
Go.
Bruno.
Oscar, as you can see.
Huh?
Oscar.
I think it should be better. Wait. Ready? Wait.
Okay. Oh, nice. Good view.
Yeah, can you see it better now?
Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good work, guys. Okay, I've not played this game before, so you guys are my prototypes. But I have every faith this is going to work. What I'm going to do is we're going to take it in turns, the three of us, and you can see how bad Spud is at this as well. And what I want to do is to have one at a time go up like we would in class, but I don't want you to mark your dog. I want the other person, so somebody else, to say yes when you think that's an indication, and then reward your dog if you were right. So you reiterate the yes, and then feed the dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. I don't know. I might need to move my angle actually. There we go. That's better. I don't know if it will stay. Hopefully it won't fall. Can you see my shoes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just move them back a tiny bit.
Wait, Papu.
Lovely. So use Kong, use teabag, whatever you wanted to do. And what we're going to do is set our dogs up just like we did before, but I'm not going to say, yeah, he's indicating all over the place. There's nothing down there. What we're going to do is I want you guys to shout yes when you think he's found it. Okay?
Okay.
So if you don't want to know where I've put it, look away now. Okay. I'm ready. I'm going to set him up. I'm going to show him what we're going to look for. So I've got a second piece of gong. He's going to have a sniff. And I'm going to say, find it, find it. Keep looking. Keep looking.
There.
Looking.
There.
Yes, good boy. One more. One. Yes, good
Yes.
boy. He's even holding it with his foot. Go on. Yes, good boy. Off you go. Let's go. Good dog. Lovely. Who would like to go next?
Jelly.
We'll go next.
I'll go last.
Cool.
Wait. Let me sit. Let me sit. You sit down. Lie down. Boy, lie down.
Do we need to look away at any point, Carol?
Way now.
Okay. I'm not looking. Genuinely not looking.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to put, hang on, let me put you on spotlight. So you should go just you now. There we go.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
I'm going to say yes for that one.
No.
No, okay. Spud, shush. No, no more.
Go find it.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. It's that second go back to it that I got.
Yeah.
The little head flick. She was like, I could see her pick up the scent and move back to it. That bit there.
Good girl.
Awesome. Good work.
Okay. Can I go next?
Good girl.
Really good work, Jenny. Fab.
I'll go next.
Yeah. Give us a
Now-
second. I'll put you on big screen.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
turn away now.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Bruno. Sit. Sit. Search.
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good boy. That's a good boy.
Oh, he's
Yes,
stopped
that's a good
still.
boy.
Wait. Oh, he's
Yes.
so good. Well done. That was excellent. Even though he was even directly bum on camera, you could see him stop breathing.
Yeah.
Excellent. My God, that game works. Fab, do you want to have another round?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try teabag this time. I promise, I've not had Spud on teabag before we started this class. So I'll be amazed if he manages to do it. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Sit.
You want to put yourself back on?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Sit. Sit. Lie down.
There we go. Okay. Off you go. Look away now. And we're ready. Stop. Here. Hang on a minute. I've lost my dog. I've thrown the treat and he can't even find that. Spud, come on. I don't know where I threw it. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Okay, so
You don't like
find it. Yeah. Find it.
Sit. Lie down.
Keep looking.
Lie down.
Keep looking.
Lie down.
That's it, isn't it?
Yes, good boy.
Stop.
Go on, find it.
Yes.
Yes, good boy. Go on, get it. I've got the good boy. All done. Spudder, you finished.
Good boy.
Finished. Yeah. Dog. Amazing. I'm more surprised than anyone that you find stuff, to be honest.
Lie down.
Lovely. Are you ready to go, Jelly?
She's got us outside.
Okay.
It's all right.
Oh, she's back.
Lie down. First lie down. No. Lie down.
By the way, if anyone in the background sees Spud digging holes in my garden, please let me know.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Let's sit.
Hang on, I need to put you on spotlight quick. Oh, you're on. Good.
Can you find it?
No, enough. Spudley, go away.
Can you find it?
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Good.
That was good.
Can you find it?
Hang on, that's Chewy. Have you given her a piece of Kong by mistake?
I think it's the brat that's gone in the wrong bit.
Saving it for later, stuffed up
Oh,
her
she's
gum.
gone.
Good work, though. Good
Come
work.
on. It's our turn.
I think
Come on.
and mine's she's gone.
Bless her. Okay, I'll look away now.
Yeah.
Fab.
Sit. Bruna. Oops.
I get that a lot.
Sit. Touch. Keep searching.
Yes.
No.
No? Oh, damn it. Full school.
That's it.
Yes, that one.
No.
No.
I don't know. Hey, what's wrong? Search. Keep searching.
Bud, enough now. Come on.
Keep searching. Bruno, he's getting distracted for something outside. Bruno,
There's
here.
something flapping on the washing line.
Yeah, search. Keep searching.
There.
Yes.
Good.
So I think the difference is that his breathing in this one
Yeah.
was absolutely still when compared to the others, because the others he would still kind of, his nose was still twitching.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe you can see it clearer than we can.
Yeah,
The first one
yeah.
was great, but awesome.
Come on.
Good lad.
Good
He did
boy.
get distracted. I think it's something flapping on your washing line.
Yeah, no, I think some sound outside. Otherwise,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. Cool. Okay. Good work, guys. So that's another fun game we can play. It does actually work. I'm quite surprised, to be fair.
Yeah.
You can pretty much see what you're doing. What would be really nice is if you could get it so that your dog is indicating so hard that everyone in the whole world could not have any doubt about it. Do you remember when we had our dogs on lead and we were trying to pull them away from the scent?
Yeah.
That to me is what we haven't covered so much in this course, that we should cover more to get over our false indications. We want that commitment to odor. I am going to stay here regardless of what happens, whatever you do. And that when you start really hammering that, that's when you move forwards from your false indications. Cool. Okay. And guys, we've overrun, but I do have one more game if you still want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so do you remember we played the dropped sock game?
Yeah.
I want to try and make that a little bit more kind of formal. So what we do so far, we've just basically asking our dogs to search for what we're asking them to search for by showing them, letting them smell the scent. What I would like you to do now is for them to start finding things that we've dropped, but that's a different idea. It's backtracking. So I haven't really done this with Spud, so again, I'm teaching it leveling up with you guys, but it's the way to start getting your dog to trail stuff. So what we're going to do, did you all guys all manage to get hold of a smelly sock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fab.
I don't know about smelly, but one.
Okay, if it's not that smelly, I'm not going to lie, I wore this today. Oh, shush. I did wear this today in honour of our class, so I know this full well this is proper stinky, and I did an exercise video. So this here is probably about as good as you're going to get. What I want you to do is, you might need your, I don't know if you will, but I might need Spud on a lead for this one, or I'll just have to get him to heel. What I'm going to do is walk across camera, and I'm going to... Oh, sorry, yep, absolutely, sorry. I've spent too long looking at you guys' top videos to not realise. There we go. And what I'm going to do is move, I'm going to put you this way so I'm not next to the shoes, so I don't need to tidy them up. I'm going to walk across. I'm only going to take about 4 steps, so you should still be able to do this in your living room. And while your dog's focusing on you in a nice heel position, if you have to use food to lure them up, that's fine. But I want you to just walk and drop it. Drop the sock behind you. Then I'm going to turn and I'm going to give him a different Spud. Shush. I'm going to give him a different cue. I'm going to ask him to do is tell him, what have I lost? And be really expressive. And I'm going to walk back really slowly, indicating to the ground. And when he gets to it, I'm going to mark and reward him a couple of times. So think of a different cue that you want to use. It's going to be more about your body language, more about the expressiveness of it. But after a while, he's going to start learning to look back. But we're only going to do it in 4 steps to start with. I'll show you. Might be easier to explain. So I'm going to stand over here. I've got my sock in my back pocket, as you can see, ready to be dropped out. Spudler. I'm not going to show it to him, though, because you wouldn't know what you've lost. Spud. Round. So he's ready to do a heel walk with me. Heel. And we're going to do the walk. Come on. I'm going to drop the sock. Yes, good boy. So he found it as I dropped it. Try not to have food in your hands if you can. Yes. If you can help it. Go on. Yes. Get it. Good boy. And we'll go back this way again. What I was hoping to do is to get to the end, just to here, and then turn around and get him to find it again. Spudler, round. We'll have another go. So I'm going to walk, drop the sock. Yes, good boy. He's seeing it. To be fair, he's seeing it more than anything. Find it. What have I lost? Spudley, what have I lost? Where is it? So I'm going to go back to it. Yes, good boy. Good lad. I'll try again. He's too quick for me. Round. Let's go. What have I lost? Spudley, I've lost something. Find it. Where is it? Spudley, where is it? Where is it? What have I lost? What have I lost? What have I lost? Where is it? So I'm going to walk back. Yes, good boy. Oh. Good lad. So all of that excitement, I did use a find it. Good boy. I did use a find it. Get off. I did merge my cues together. So I started to say find it, and he went straight to the shoes to go and have a look there, but it wasn't there. But I tracked back. I retraced my steps to go back to the socks that I dropped. Pretty poor demonstration, but can you see how that's going to work?
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a go with that.
Okay. Come with mommy. Come on.
No.
Come here. What should you do? No, this way. This way. Come on. Come on. Come on.
No.
Come. Come on.
Good girl.
Hey, good work.
Hey, what did I drop? Go on. What did I drop? What did I drop? Search. What did I drop? What did I drop? Where is it? Where is that? Where is it? Where's the sock? Where did I drop it? I was distracted by the shoes. Okay. Okay.
Good girl.
Nice. What are you using as a cue, Carol? That's fantastic.
Oh, okay. Come on, come here, come here. Brother, come here. Come here. Come this side. Let's walk. Come. No, this way. Come on.
Nice.
Oh, my body's
Oh, wow. That's fab. But we don't want Jelly to necessarily bring it to us, but that's fantastic. Well done.
Where did I drop?
Really good.
Where did I drop it? What did I drop? Yeah, what did I drop? Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy.
Carol, Vandy, I don't know if your camera has frozen.
No, no,
Or you're
because
not. Oh, okay, you're behind.
I'm walking on the other side.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
go this way now.
Okay,
Come
cool.
on, brother. Brother. Come on. Sit. Brother, here. Here. Hey, brother, what did I drop? Where is it? Where did I drop it?
Yeah, good work.
Whoa!
Guys, this is awesome. This is really good. I'm pleased we stayed for that game.
Whoa!
Lovely.
That's
So,
good.
truthfully, have a seat and we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Truthfully, what they're doing is Spud to begin with was sighting it, so he was seeing me drop it, to be fair, so it looked probably more impressive than it was. How you can combat that is you can either not have a dog that barks at you all the time. What you can do is to make sure your dog's right up next to you and hold your hand out in front of you in a nice heel position, like as if you're practicing heel work before you drop it so they don't see it. That's going to be the most effective place. If your dog's a pace or two behind you, they might see you drop it. And what I want you to do as well is I want you to start building up the number of steps. Do you remember how we built up duration?
Yeah.
We took 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. I want you to start building up the number of steps you take away from the item before you start walking back to it. So technically you could drop, if you walk there and back again route, like if you're just going out for your daily exercise each day, drop something on your driveway and just take 5 paces away from it. If you try and do it in somewhere completely novel to start with, your dog might not be able to do it. So it's probably a game you can play coming out of your house. I don't know if you've got a long pathway, Carol, but even in your front garden, just going out for your walk, that's a good place to start. Try not to always drop it in the same place. So try it again a bit later on in the walk. And don't do it too often. So with these training sessions, with scent work, you can do a good few minutes or a good 10 minutes or so and play the game before your dog gets bored of it. With this find it thing, don't do it too much in one go, because otherwise your dog will start constantly looking and searching on the floor. I reckon teach this one in the house really well, then the garden really well, and then only do it outside one at a time. Does that make sense? I worry that you'll end up with your dog starting to bring your chicken bones back and things and constantly looking for them. Yeah, it's bad enough. Spud's bad enough with that as it is. So it would be really important to make sure when you decide you're going to go and search for something, get that sit, get that focus on you, and then give your cue. What have I dropped? Then give your find it as you work your way back to it, and hopefully your dog will start tracking on the ground, looking for where you've been. It's kind of the beginning of manhunt training as well, which is what I'd love to move on to. But it's something nice to do just for tracking back for objects. But yeah, another fun game to keep you guys entertained when you're getting bored.
Drink water.
Oh, well done, everyone. That was really good. You can do so much more online than I thought we'd be able to. So really good work.
Saves that long journey as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's there's honestly some really crazy benefits to this. Some of my one-to-one stuff has almost gone better because when I turn up, the dogs get so excited. And when I'm staring at you on screen, I swear I notice stuff that I don't normally do. The other great thing is you'll be able to watch your video back of yourselves and see what you did and where you were standing. For me, that's bad because I realize how bad a trainer I am. I can teach you guys, but I don't do it myself, which is really bad. So don't watch my bits again. Listen to my bits and then watch your own bits back and you can critique yourself. So cool.
Okay.
Really good work, guys. That was a nice finish. I'm pleased we managed to finish that course.
Thank you.
Lovely. No worries. Awesome.
Thank you. What is
No
it?
worries. I'm just going to stop the recording now. So bye.
Bye. Bye.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just stopping the recording.